what you want to do. Not a problem. You can do that. Okay, on the table, we're not gonna vote for it, but I think everybody is understand and is in agreement. So you'll see that one on, August meeting, okay? And right off the bat, talking about change orders, we have a change order in front of us. And Beechman and Kim is here. I've asked Beechman and Kim to come and explain it to the council as to what's going on, and I'll let you guys, and Des Moines Waterworks, and I'll let you guys, do you guys want to just kind of throw it out first, and then the council can ask questions?
Yeah, that is.
Would that work best for everybody?
Yeah.
That's the secondary sheet.
It's the one that's being caved.
That is the one that got dropped off.
We'll let B&K take it up first, and then you can tag in with that. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, my name is Gianni Utini. I'm with Beechman and Kim, been helping out with the design on this. And basically, the change order is after some review by Des Moines Waterworks and some SUDAS regulations, there's a need for 10 feet of separation horizontally between the proposed storm sewer and the existing water main. The main areas that are affected by this are 4th Street, where there's a water main on both sides of the street, and we can't really stay within the right of way and work under the power lines with the current storm sewer alignment unless we change the pipe material to a water main material, which is the C900 pipe, to use a technical term, but that's the different pipe material which is allowable within 10 feet horizontally of the water main. So that's along 4th Street on the west side, and then there's another stretch on 141st Place where the water main runs east to west on the south side, where we also are proposing storm sewer, and there's some difficulty getting 10 feet of separation and maintaining a working space in the right of way, and also avoiding cutting down some trees on that lot that's on the corner of 4th and 141st Place. So the best option would be to use the water main material in that area as well. And then the same issue on 141st Place between 5th and 6th, same issue, there's trees, and there's also a pretty big vertical drop if you keep going towards the house to try and use the right of way. So it works best with the least amount of interference with that lot if it's water main material as well.
So we're how many feet away?
I don't have the exact measurement of distance within the right of way, or are you asking the distance from the water? Pipe to pipe is, I think, between 5 and 7 feet. The trees were like 12 feet from the water main offset. Next level. And that's
C900, is that like a metal?
it's a PVC water main material pipe. It's more watertight. Water can't get out of it.
And then what's a storm water pipe? What is that? Is that still a PVC type pipe?
It is a plastic pipe. It's not as watertight, and the seals on the joints aren't as watertight. And it's just a different pipe material.
Why does it matter?
It's a pressure rating pipe. It's pressure rated pipe. That's why the DNR specifies it. So I just want to clarify one thing. You mentioned SUDAS. We're referencing Iowa Administrative Code. That's what we were reviewing. So as part of Iowa Administrative Code, there's certain horizontal and vertical separation requirements from water main. So that's, when we reviewed the plans, that's what we were looking at. The DNR enforces this code. They've got a pretty nice, little FAQ. If you're curious, I can distribute this to whoever's interested, but this sort of lays out the requirements as far as separation distances between storm sewer and sanitary sewer from water main. So that's what we were looking at when we did our review. And then you can be closer to water main if you use certain types of materials, so that's what Johnny was getting at, is if you use that pressure rated pipe, you can be closer than 10 feet away. So they offer some flexibility by using different materials and that sort of thing, so.
This is not gonna sacrifice some trees by making it closer, or are you still gonna dig up these roots and stuff, or eventually these trees gonna die, or
The,
far enough away?
the project goal was to put the pipe in the ditch with
Right.
minimum excavation, and by using the water main pipe, you can be closer, and we are following that alignment in the ditch. And there's minimal excavation. I don't believe, I can't say for certain, there won't be any roots hit, but
Well, yeah,
it 100% minimizes the amount, rather than getting closer to the trees to get further away from the water main.
So by doing this, we can continue with the plan of exactly where we were gonna put it.
Yes, there's only a couple spots where it goes back, but those don't invade. They don't leave the right of way. None of the excavation or work would leave the right of way.
And if we have to maintain that specific amount, that gets into people's personal property, and we don't wanna have to.
Correct.
uh,
I think there's 3 lots that it gets pretty extensively into their property to go around trees.
Which they had, at least 2 of those had already declined construction easements, they were not for it, so.
My question is, you know, we have a price before, and now we have this price. So there's a difference there. Would we be subtracting the original price from the 59,000, or are we adding 50, is it about 59,000 for all?
The 59,000 is a net. There are some deductions, but the water main pipe material is more expensive, the labor is more expensive, it's a heavier pipe in longer sticks. So for them to install it, it's more difficult, there are more challenges, and for the basins, there's different fittings and attachments that they need. So the 59,000 is a net addition. There are some deductions, but that's the in addition.
You know, I know that they left a lot of money on the table when they bid the project, you know, and you know, is that unit price, is that pretty competitive?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. We investigated that and feel pretty comfortable with the addition that they have proposed. That was one thing that we always look at anytime that we get a change order price. We look at it discreetly and pretty critically, so that we know that you're getting the best price that you can for that change, so.
Okay.
It's still backfill with rock and decent materials.
Yep. And that's all, it's all the same, and they have details and stuff in like SUDAS, and they have regulations they have to follow with that.
Okay, any other questions?
Another question I had is just I kinda like to know the why of things, how it happened. Why didn't we include the Moines Water Works as we were going in and looking at this project? Why didn't we include them in some of our original discussions, so we knew what we would have had to do? I'm not saying this is a crazy change order, it would have cost that.
No, you're absolutely right.
But it's just
And what probably should have happened was that material would have been included in the original.
Right.
So, yes, you're right. That coordination could have and should have happened earlier. And that's why we took a harder review on the change. So, I mean, it's, again, trying to stay out of personal property.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. If those couple properties were open to it, then we could look at just moving that out. But I fully understand why those people would not want to have that occur on their property.
We get some pretty steep,
Back slopes.
Yeah, pretty close to foundation and such with that, so I wasn't too surprised.
Any other questions? So the total cost of our project? The bid price was what?
the bid price for the storm drainage improvements was just under 300,000, the change order's 59,000 $358,000.
358, and you, as you do the project, it could be a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
A little bit less.
Yep.
Okay. That's just for.
Positive part of this is we're still under our original estimate.
Yeah.
Granted, we haven't moved this, take a scoop of dirt yet, so that 10,000 might disappear pretty fast too, but
It is what it is.
we are where we're at, so.
And I think when you look at the combined between the
Street and
paving
storm.
and the storm,
Right, there's.
we're still gonna be 50,000 under that total, so.
Same scenario.
Correct.
We never know what we're gonna find until we start doing it.
It's construction.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And you're gonna be on job,
I will not
Most
be
of the time,
doing
or who?
Inspector, Bill Gould, I think.
Is that who's doing
I
it?
think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So he's in Polk City and he's hellbound inspector for these really good.
he'll be the guy.
Yep.
Okay, and
And
he'll
he'll,
work with Logan.
yep, work with Logan, call us, Logan's got my number, Forrest's number, and we're most part available. And,
Okay.
And it'll go pretty quick. Probably not a bad idea for Gianni to make a trip or two up there during that
yeah,
construction.
I'll, at some point, check it out.
I just, it's the biggest project the city's ever really undertaken. Right? Anything bigger. And it's affecting a lot of streets, a lot
Yeah.
of lives.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that the residents, will put up with it, and also we have school,
Yeah,
that'll be a trick to work with.
definitely. We discussed that in our pre-construction meeting and generating the contractors aware of that. They do have a work plan in place to minimize the impact if they do make any impact at all, so everything should be pretty smooth once they get rolling.
As the contractors providing us with any kind of a written out schedule, other than it's gonna take 90 days, do they have like a sketch of?
They'll be able to
path
give
they're gonna go? Is there something that
Yeah.
we could share with the community? Hey, I know Logan already does a great job of letting people know when it's gonna affect them, but just kind of overall, here's kind of the route we're gonna take through town and.
Yeah.
Work, might be helpful.
I did reach
And
out.
maybe we have one already.
No, not yet. I did reach out to our excavation contractor, and that's something they can do. They're just working up to that. It is, listed, a west to east workflow on the minutes, and I did include that in the, notice to the residents, exactly how they were going to be moving through town. But, visual aids
It's
are.
kind of nice, it's easier, a visual thing.
Absolutely, I agree, yeah.
We can reach out to them, get some sort of phasing thing that gets put together soon enough, so if we update it, and ask all of you guys at least for your meetings or something every.
Again, because of the size of the project, and we're not used to this much interference with things, I just think the more we can help our citizens understand how it's going, better off. But it's gonna be less questions for Logan, less midnight phone calls, there's an excavator in my driveway.
Okay, Scotty, you okay over there? You're all quiet. Amanda?
I'm good.
You're good? Amanda, good?
So this needs approved, are we meeting next Monday to do this, or can this wait till August?
I would like to take care of it Monday.
Okay.
We'll put the hustle on it. I don't want anything to hold up the project. We need to get it done.
Is it something, we typically don't do this I know Scott's busy a lot on Mondays and Tuesdays. Is that something for these special types of meetings, you can do a quick Zoom call? Is that allowable for city, I'm just asking the question.
It is if we post the Zoom link online also, so that others can join in.
Because theoretically, it's gonna take us 5 minutes
Yeah, I agree.
or less.
I think we got Perry on the phone, don't we?
Yeah, we got Perry on the phone.
Perry's on the phone.
We could coordinate some kind of
This
team.
is
team
the
thing.
question, again, we've not done that as a council before,
No.
just solely that, so that's just, I'm just asking.
I've done that to put people up on the screen.
Okay, is there, any other questions for DK and the Des Moines Parks? Cause I don't wanna hold up your night. Anybody have anything?
Can I ask one?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you have any other utility improvements planned or stuff that,
I'd love to build a sewer system.
He's taking donations.
I was gonna say,
We got pop cans.
if you have anything planned, I mean, we're more than happy to provide reviews, so just.
Oh, reviews on it, yep.
I think with this process that I'm pretty sure that with anything, you'll know.
I've got Matt Dobie's, info now, we'll make sure.
Okay,
Learning process.
you don't have to stay if you don't want to. You
Not
can
gonna
enjoy your meeting, we're gonna let's talk about some other things here.
Thank you all.
Thanks guys, thank you very much for answering our questions and concerns.
Running Monday night.
Good experience, I had fun.
There was nothing on TV on that one, so whatever.
Hopefully not for
At least I didn't see it.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys, the next item on the agenda, I think was Mr. Osweigan and Logan, no, who came up with this order?
What?
Oh, looks like Public Works,
Thank you.
this is Logan,
It's the
that's
public
not
works
Logan.
report, yeah. There's no additions to my written report except for one, and that would be a change to the, street paving. Had inroads come in last Friday and just now informed us that they're going to be, repaving 134th either at the end of this week, weather permitting, or the beginning of next, and they are contracted and responsible for putting notices out, so they should be going out. If they haven't gone out today, they'll be out tomorrow.
How are they going to do that? Are they gonna do the whole road at a time, or are they, just as far as people being able to get
They'll
through,
do-
leave their houses? There's a few of us here that's going to it.
Yeah, so it's,
That's, again, the city folks.
they run a pretty smooth process through. They'll do one side at a time. After they mill it, you'll still be able to enter and exit your driveway if needed. They're only gonna be blocking one side of Denler at a time, so those people will not, they'll just have to go one way or the other. It's, not a super big deal.
If they're
And
doing the one side, those people on that side, if they wanna get out, they're
Yep.
gonna have to get out before.
before the paving portion of it. Once it's milled, you can still drive.
So basically, the paving will be late in the afternoon,
I
so
I
people coming
have-
home would might not be able to get in their driveways.
have not heard yet what exactly, their plan is due to the weather. But as soon as they get the notices out, they promised they would update me. So I have,
Do you know from one end to how long of a duration total it's gonna take them?
I do not. They came out to do painting and it was all, I was under the impression it was gonna be done in October following
I
our
understand when they were
our
here.
stuff, yeah. So, this all came up pretty quick and I'm not mad about it because definitely better to just get that section done instead of closing all the roads down when we got school traffic coming through. But as soon as they give me an update, they'll make sure that they give all the residents all that information. They did it before with these other roads, and I had a lot of residents that said they were really happy that the number was on there, they could call, talk to the guy, and they could get the information they wanted, so.
Thank you, sorry for that question.
No, you're all right, that's
Curious mind, Diddy.
that's all I've got. What was that?
I have a curious mind.
Talk to us about this, the next item on the agenda, there's traffic control on 3rd, 4th, and 5th streets.
Well,
How it came about. and-
That's huge.
that was information that was just requested of me, and I put some things together, for the council. At the mayor's request, the only
Somebody
thing that I
came-
have a,
And also somebody, I got it from some other people, I guess, but,
I mean,
they think
the speed
that
bumps were,
possibly, it would be advantageous and good, since we're going into gonna be doing the construction of designating, a one-way street, and you have it there, one-way street, and that would be, third, you got it in front of you there. Yeah. Okay, the cost of a one-way street cannot be determined at this time. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th streets depicted on the Alleman map as one-way streets. These maps are only meant to serve as visual aids. And you know, since we're gonna be doing this big project, people are going, this is a new, it's all something different. But we still are having a major problem with traffic on Third. Morning and night, backed up. I try to stay away from the area, but when I do go up there, I thought, wow, we gotta get there at 2:30 in the afternoon to pick up my nephew. Because they back up all the way. And this might, you know, if we overlay it, put the signs up, and start it with the sheriff, and let the school system, you know, advertise it out there, this might be the answer. But I don't know. You know, it's what you guys think.
Have we saw, we didn't go from the residents on it,
No, we haven't. We got time to do that. And so I thought maybe a public hearing.
Yeah, true.
You know, call public hearing and talk to people about it. If they so choose to come to the meeting, I don't know.
So what philosophy was used, what school of thought was used in this as a mitigation plan for the traffic flow?
Well, the
It's just-
big part of it is to get, to bank the cars up on 41st place.
I understand
You know,
that
that's,
the reason for the talking about the plan at all, I understand that, is to change what's happening with the pickup lines and whatnot more in the afternoon and drop off. Is there some school of thought that supports changing to one-way streets? I'm just curious, or was this just somebody, hey, I got an idea, let's try this?
well, you know, once the idea surfaced, it got talked about, and it's like, not be a bad idea.
Could we make it one way, put like the walking on the other side?
Don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to it, I'm curious the school of thought behind the plan as it's laid out in front of us. I guess my only other real issue, question, concern at all would be, it says that the cost can't be determined at this time. Forgive me, wouldn't it just be signage and later put them up?
All it is.
I mean, that could be pretty easily determined what the cost is, very quickly.
Again, I did not have time when I was just after information, I didn't have time to figure out everything that would be required to do it based on the signage and markings. If there's walking, there might have to be safety bollards of some sort, I mean, I just didn't have enough time on that one, I'm sorry.
Are walking paths part of this plan?
I was just asked with this the other, I have no opinion on it. I could not, I cannot answer that.
Just the streets are 22. Streets are 22.
Was this brought up to you by someone? Has some of the residents made a comment about?
I've had two
Hey,
residents reach
what do you
out,
know about
the
this?
one had this idea, or just making the streets all dead ends down by 141st Avenue. Or this. And she had attended the speed camera meeting at the church, so it was just something that she had thought of.
Yes, we had a
I personally think it's silly that we have
any trees, just a horseshoe for the people to pick kids up.
Basically,
Cut it in on one street, go in front of the elementary, in the middle school, whatever, and turn it, go right back out the other way. So you kind of, instead of having it going both ways, filling it all up, you're just gonna create a in and out type situation with the streets.
I'm a scout, I'm not opposed to it, but I just really interested to see what all the people have to say.
See,
There's only about 1, 2, 3.
what I'll do is, we'll put together maybe a public
Dozen
meeting
houses.
Bob,
and then advertise it and concern citizens come to the public meeting. I'll get some feedback.
very good.
Once
In addition-
Logan and I were talking, and I asked him, if I recall correctly, they're like 22-foot tops. But if you make a 14-foot lane, a 2-foot strike zone, you still have a 6-foot walk that people could use for both directions on there, which is even wider than a normal 5-foot walk, so it could be done. And again, most of the time for a school circulation, they keep that on a one-way basis. Any new schools that have the route, they'll have a route in, they go through and they come back out, and it's all on a one-way basis, so. If that's the goal, it could work, but again, you've got a lot of citizens that are right there, and one-way streets is one of those topics that bring people out and wanna talk about it.
There is a report by the street, why did I not?
Yes, absolutely, that would be me, but I'm fine with.
Yeah.
So I would say,
I mean, when I'm on Third, so when I pull out of my driveway, I go up to 142nd. When I come back into town, yeah, if I'm coming from the west, I gotta drive by my place and go around the block. But like Perry, now, he'd have to go into town, but he's got a way out on, what is it, 140? Yeah, he's got only a quarter of a block or a half a block, and he can turn and go out and about.
again, that's awesome, we should have, instead of just posting it somewhere on our, I would literally put this in these mailbox, so. Just so that the people that it affects, 100%, they see what's there.
So basically, you put a walking path on part of the street then, is that what they wanna do? Put a walking path on part of these?
Right, you'd have part of it as a walking path and the other part would be driving. And you could have like a 2-foot buffer with striping or, you know, I think it's on Dove, south part of Ames, they've got some of those vertical. Yeah, just a vertical stick on that they have.
Yeah, reflector.
Yep, and it'd be something that would help refine it, so.
me and Kay can put together
Yeah,
details.
see, that'd be another thing on that,
We
that
will do the
so
public
no
meeting
one else
and then,
drive down.
you know, we'll bring it back to the council, you know?
And then when they're out in the winter time, cause it's those things that we can take up, or you
Yeah.
just fill them up with plow, put them down next year.
Better just take the one side down and, or you could
What's
leave them
next,
up,
Bob?
plow to the one
What's
side
next
of the
is,
street.
that I see here
And
is
just take a
a,
smaller
yeah.
unit on the bad side.
the speed, someone's stop.
So far,
And,
with the reflectors under the surface.
stop signs weren't there, they didn't work. All it is, made it go faster, because it was less of a, you need something that's a little bit wider like that, speed bump.
Like the hump, yeah.
That's what I,
And that's
proposed
what
is a speed hump in there.
and you know, that is like number one concern. Man, they really haul down 134th Avenue from stop sign to stop sign, and they're still going to.
So my,
Well, if you put two, I was thinking 3 humps, one in front of my house and 2 between the stop signs. With the stop signs and the humps, I think that would really slow people down.
I disagree.
Well, you know,
And that's my opinion. You have your-
but you know, and that's fine.
Absolutely.
It's, the trouble is, we're trying to slow people down so that people can go walk at night or walk in the evening. And there's just no place for them to go except jump in the ditch. You know, and slow down, please. But it's hard, sometimes I'm out there, I'd like to throw a rock, because it just really go, you know, but what can you do? And then, I think Terry had a concern with the speed humps. He'd like to have 2 of them on what streets? Third
I
and Fourth.
put on the map on the back of it, I was not aware of 134th Street, so I only did third and fourth, where the previous, speed humps, had been in. Since Councilman Smith had said he had spoken to a few of his neighbors and had gotten some resident feedback for that area, so that is all I provided.
Positive feedback?
Positive, there's many that don't.
So, that's not something we have to, have ready for the August meeting then, right?
You can have it be a part of the one-way
Did they
street
come back?
discussion with the residents.
Have it be a part of the one-way street discussion with the
Discussion,
residents.
okay, that's a good idea. Okay, that's what
Yeah,
we'll do, that'll be,
service would be done.
that'll be part of the meeting. Okay, guys?
They put them on a one-way street.
2 of them on the one,
Well,
not all 3.
If they're one-way streets, no, you wouldn't put a speed hump on that. Very good. No speed humps on a one-way, that's not typically done.
But you can, I mean, it's not that you can't do it, we've done speed tables by schools in the past as well. So I mean, and again, for a crosswalk
Right.
at that location, it's usually a nice thing, but
I mean, maybe a speed table where it crosses, 141st Avenue, going
Right.
from
How
a resident
effective
road
do you think,
for a crosswalk.
what's your opinion on effectiveness?
on the, we did a series of 3 speed tables at Grinnell High School, and everybody we've talked to says it worked out great. Even some of the kids were complaining to their parents that they have to slow down so much that, so I mean, it actually did what it was supposed to do. People, you can, if they're designed correctly, you can only go over them about 22 miles an hour, and it's comfortable. You start going over them at 26, 27, 28, it's not very comfortable.
It's time, the faster you go, the worse.
It's not just,
Right.
and it's a longer.
It's long.
Okay,
That's
for the interest of time, we'll put this together with the meeting, on the one-ways. Next, Logan, your next
Yeah.
first meeting, I guess.
Just add, I'll go ahead and nothing wrong with it, it's,
You can't take the vehicle to go fishing, huh?
Yeah.
it goes nowhere,
Don't get caught up.
nowhere but the shop.
Okay, let's move on to the next item on the agenda.
We are replacing a council member.
How soon?
Friday will be my officially.
How many days do you have to get out, though? How many days do you have to get out?
Friday.
Not gonna be like a 30-day close.
Nope.
There's no more picnic in town.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss this place.
Are the chickens going with you?
Yeah, they're already gone. Yep, yep.
So as we've discussed before, you can have a special election which will cost, or you can just put somebody in there after we follow the steps in this sample.
That is up to the council.
And it's to complete her term, or
No.
it's up till the next vote?
This fall election, so it'll just be for a few months.
Just
agree with you. We need the engineers to get involved. We need to find out the elevations of the tiles that are already there. We need to find out how many of them there are. We need to find out if we can get a flow rate or whatever it takes. A lot of these ditches are gonna be deep enough, so it could maybe improve on the water tables and septic systems and stuff, go behind the houses. But we need to find out the depth, get it in the right of ways, so the future housing in the right areas, and we got a place to identify where the field tile is going into this new tile. So that's all the stuff we need to do. And then personally, I think we ought to have clean outs at both ends and probably one in the middle where it goes alongside his house. And that should be a horizontal boring system instead of open digging it, because we don't know what the elevations are. That's to get that.
Opposed to doing it.
And then if we get that on a plot, and future housing developments, they gotta abide by it. And if they're gonna build a house, or they gotta come up with a plan, get that drain.
And there's also that, okay, now if we're gonna do the whole future part of that, future Alleman north there has to tie into it, what size should we put it there?
That's where our engineers kick in.
That's my whole point.
Yeah. It might be a 12X, it might be 24, choose. So that's why we got engineers.
That's assuming we know what's going in. Could be a golf course.
Yeah, very well could be.
Wouldn't that be something?
Should be. Municipally owned city golf.
So do you wanna put that on the agenda for August to hire Eastern Kim to look at it?
I think
Building a golf course, absolutely.
I said that. I think we need to at least ask them for a
And have them talk to who that guy give us the tickets. Yeah, have them get together. Go for it. A lot of this stuff is just up here, I don't know. Do you have one or do you back?
I'll talk about that off the record.
Oh, yeah. Water's benefit, right? Yeah. Okay, okay, we got that one kind of hammered out.
To move forward with the investing, we have to redo this resolution that we just did. So I have that on the agenda for August, naming 3 other banks. I'm working with the bank that we use for the TIF loans. Get his personal opinion on what banks to use.
I'm confused, we have to redo something we just did. How, did we skip, did I just go to Turtle, did we miss something?
No, okay, so the banking, the money markets aren't getting very good interest rates on them, so we're just gonna look at whether we can get in 3 money markets and we can get a better interest rate on them. But in order to even start looking, you have to have this document.
Hey, thanks. Give me here from us. Thank you.
Changes with it, just giving us more opportunities for investment.
Yes. Lastly, I just got this last week from Amy. I don't feel like it's anywhere near us, but it's evidently within 2 miles. There's nothing we can do, we just have to acknowledge that we need
always somebody that doesn't show up at the meetings, and that's for board review and planning. I just want people to show up and work it and get it done.
Do we have a list of, we have a list of who was all on both of those committees? Do we have a list of timeframes that they've been on?
Yes.
Because
Planning and zoning is
the way I read our codes is it's a 5-year term. They can come and go anytime they want, off and on that term, but we can also ask them to not be in that 5 years. Because of, if somebody's not showing up for 4 meetings in a row, we can ask them based on that to be, and that is our, in our purview to be. So that would be my question, is all those on both committees, you should have meeting minutes up to know who's been there, who's not, an attendance thing. And we should also know how long each one has been on there. So we, and we could, we gotta start that route, because we gotta have that. And then if there's people that have been on there longer than 5, we can ask them, continue. Again, I read through that, there's a very specific process.
Okay, the only thing is on my mind is, junk cars sitting out, down on 134, one over here that has been moved behind Morris's house, and I think there's one other in town. Also, the code enforcement person, that we hired was in process of doing his job, and then all of a sudden we canceled it, and now, we got a set of codes, and nobody's enforcing. Does that mean the council's gonna do that, or does the mayor's not going?
Has anybody complained on said cars?
Yes.
I'm trying to get a visual of where the jump car is on 134.
Well, we got 2 of them sitting behind the seats there, that have been sitting there one of them's been there for a couple, 3 years. See, it's a corner house.
Oh, that truck?
Yeah, that truck.
That truck's been there for 2 years sitting there.
Yeah, they're sitting there, and so guys,
Behind pine trees.
you nixed the contract with the people that deal with that, and we got some houses in town that are just completely overgrown, and look terrible, and they storing stuff, and just nobody's, it really affects the way the city looks. And you know what, next door neighbors really do not appreciate it, but they're not going to go against their next door neighbor. And I think it becomes part of our job to do that. And,
I apologize for asking this question again, but I don't remember your answer. Has someone complained about that? Like a written complaint to the city? Or are we just driving around looking, oh, he should know, he should, has somebody?
I have talked to people, and they don't want to take the heat. Okay? That's what we are for. That's what we are for. We're not the next door neighbor. What can you do about it? I said, well, really, there's not anything I can do about it. So I haven't got anybody to enforce the rules. And I'm not gonna do it. If you guys wanna figure out a way to enforce our rules, and go through the process with the attorney, step up. I don't wanna do it.
Wasn't that the process before? Was if somebody actually complained, we had the attorney write a letter and say, hey, write a letter. We had complaint.
But they didn't follow through, and the letter was just like thrown in the garbage, probably, because nothing changed. But you gotta go through, the process.
So do we have something in our code that says if you don't comply with it after so many written notices, that you start getting fined?
That's what the code enforcement person lets them know.
I don't remember seeing it. We had that code enforcement, but there was never anything clear in there what those fines were. It was never, it's very.
But once they cite them, and then they follow up
plain or in writing.
Yeah.
Have the letter sent. Even if it comes from on council letter, the city council has to inform that X, Y, and Z.
Need both.
Please rectify within
Much better.
30